Welcome to Criminal Chronicles, the channel where we uncover the darkest and most disturbing true crime cases in history, not to glorify violence, but to understand how such crimes happened and how they changed the world forever. Today's story is about a man whose face did not match his actions, a man who appeared intelligent, polite, and trustworthy, yet became one of the most notorious serial killers in American history. This is the story of Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy was born Theodore Robert Bundy in 1946. From the outside, his early life seemed ordinary. He was described as quiet, intelligent, and socially capable. As he grew older, Bundy learned how to present himself in a way that made people feel comfortable around him. He knew how to listen, how to speak confidently, and how to gain trust. Behind that carefully constructed image, something dark was developing. Bundy struggled deeply with control, rejection, and resentment. Over time, these inner conflicts turned into violent fantasies. Instead of seeking help, Bundy learned how to hide his thoughts and emotions behind charm and politeness. During the early 1970s, young women began disappearing across several states in the United States. At first, the cases seemed unrelated. Different locations, different victims, and no clear pattern. What investigators did not yet realize was that a single individual was moving across state lines, leaving devastation behind. Bundy often approached his victims in public places. He appeared injured or helpless, using fake casts or crutches to gain sympathy. He relied on people's natural instinct to help. Once trust was gained, his victims were taken against their will. His ability to appear harmless allowed him to operate in plain sight. As the number of disappearances grew, fear spread across communities. Women became more cautious, but Bundy adapted. He changed locations, altered methods, and stayed one step ahead of investigators. His intelligence and understanding of human behavior made him especially dangerous. Eventually, survivors began to come forward. Descriptions of a man named Ted started appearing in police reports. Witnesses described a similar appearance, similar behavior, and similar patterns. Slowly, the pieces began to connect. Bundy was arrested, but even then, his manipulation continued. He spoke confidently to police, acted cooperative, and attempted to control the narrative. At times, evidence was not strong enough to hold him, allowing him to slip through the system. In one of the most shocking chapters of the case, Bundy escaped from custody not once, but twice. These escapes revealed major failures within the justice system. Each escape gave him the opportunity to commit more murders, deepening the tragedy. The nation followed the case closely. Media coverage turned Bundy into a public figure, something he appeared to enjoy. He studied the attention, learned from it, and continued trying to manipulate public perception. Eventually, Bundy was captured again. This time, the evidence was overwhelming. Testimony, forensic connections, and survivor accounts painted a clear picture of his crimes. His trials became some of the most widely watched court cases in American history. Bundy chose to represent himself in court, believing he could outsmart the system. He questioned witnesses, addressed juries, and attempted to create doubt. But the truth could no longer be hidden. The scale of his crimes was undeniable. Ted Bundy was convicted of multiple murders and sentenced to death. In 1989, his life ended, but the impact of his actions did not. Families were left grieving, communities were left traumatized, an entire nation was forced to confront the reality that evil does not always look frightening. Bundy's case changed criminal profiling forever. Law enforcement began to understand that killers could be educated, charming, and socially skilled. The idea that monsters only look like monsters was shattered. Today, Ted Bundy is remembered not for who he pretended to be, but for the lives he destroyed. His story is studied as a warning, a reminder that appearances can deceive, and that awareness and vigilance save lives. We tell this story to remember the victims, not the killer, to understand how systems failed and how future tragedies might be prevented. Thank you for watching Criminal Chronicles. If you want more in-depth true crime stories told with clarity, respect, and truth, stay with us. Another dark chapter of history awaits.